What is up, everybody? It's Avatar Yaya back at it again with another Final Fantasy 15 related video. All things Final Fantasy will be discussed today with my boy Shattuck Stick.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Shattuck. If depending on whose channel you're watching it on, maybe Avatar, maybe Shattuck. Just make sure you subscribe to the other person. Show us both some love. Follow us on Twitter. Go ahead, my
Yes.
boy. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that awesome introduction. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm just trying to bootleg sense of myself. Aha, inside joke. Anyway, um, so today we'll be reviewing Kingsglaive Final Fantasy 15. And we're gonna pretty much not go too in depth because we don't want to bore you guys and
Yeah.
like overhype it because I don't like overhyping things and then people get pissed and be like, yeah, why you always lying? So shout out to that person. You know who I'm talking about. You watch my videos, but yeah. So how you want to do this, Shattuck? Where you want to start?
Let's start at the characters, my boy. To be honest, out of we look at Advent Children versus this, because Advent Children is the other Final Fantasy movie. We don't talk about anything else Final Fantasy animated but Advent Children, because the other stuff doesn't exist.
Yeah.
This compared to Advent Children, when you look at the characters, this they didn't give a whole bunch of depth to the characters, but they gave a bunch of personality, bro.
Yeah.
Especially, even though Libertus didn't have that much screen time, he probably has more personality than about anyone else on there. Cause he really shows. This man is like, bro, I'm from the hood. I'm gonna rep my squad, bro. You ain't gonna be able to do nothing about it. I'm just trying to. I do this for my squad. I do this for my gang. Kind of like,
Oh
you know
my
what I
gosh,
mean?
this
Bro?
man is referencing Freddie Wap.
And then Nyx was the typical hero, but Nyx was just like he was resolved in what he did, and then Crow, I'll just let you talk about Crow Avatar.
Let me. Oh my gosh, bro. They did me wrong. Okay, so let me say this about the cast of characters. They come off as they're there for this plot purposes. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like plot devices, and they're very linear. But however, in between of them just being straightforward characters, they had little moments where they fleshed out. Like, do you want to make this a spoiler review or non-spoilerish review?
let's just if you want to be
I
just
don't
go
really
ahead,
care.
go
Like, I'm
ahead,
just put spoiler in the title anyway.
yeah, go ahead.
So there's a scene where you have, I think it was like after the first 12 minutes, and spoiler alert, they were like all in this like area, like festival, sitting down eating, and then Libertas was like, my ass. You get what I'm saying? Like, it actually had I can't remember exactly the statement. I might just slip a transparent screenshot in it, but yeah, he had something that I wouldn't even. And moments during the movie, I felt like it was real. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
the
So
characters don't feel like they're fictional. They feel like real people. They look like real people. They feel like real people. They act like real people. They sound like real people. These people that they aren't just guys who are just there like Avatar. Like, they're more than just plot. They act as plot devices, but they're more than that. They have that realistic feel to them. There is something just about them. The atmosphere they bring to the movie that just makes you like, man, forgot this was a movie.
right, yeah, and like let's talk about Crowley. Crow. All right, I suck at pronunciating these names because
Boy,
it's something
Avatar was
I'm just
about to
not.
cry.
Oh my gosh, bro. In the trailers portrayed her as the most badass Final Fantasy chick since Tifa. Okay, and lightning. That's debatable. Don't attack me about the lightning thing. Okay, that's debatable. But I'm going to say Tifa is going to hold it down. Tifa and maybe Yuna are going to hold it down as the two most badass Final Fantasy females in the franchise. And like Crow came up in the clutch. They gave her like the emotion of like it was either like in the trailer. There's another scene where during the little post battle, and she's holding her arms up, and the facial expressions they gave her made me feel like she gave them facial expressions like, what the fuck? We can do this, but what the fuck? Okay, so I'm gonna bleep that out because of YouTube. I kind of forget.
I mean, I'm not gonna bleep it. I don't mind. But
Okay. All right. Yeah, because I'm not gonna bleep it out then. Anyway, so I thought you was that. Anyway, and Crow was really done well. Her design was amazing. Like all the characters of Kingsglaive were designed beautifully, but I like Crow especially because she has this Laura Croft like design, like, and it's more realistic than a lot of other,
yeah,
RPG MMO female characters. They try to go for the exotic clothing, the big bust and stuff like that. Not saying I don't like that. I
now,
love
now, now,
my
now, when he's referring to Lara Croft, he's referring to Tomb Raider 2013 and Rise of the Tomb
yeah.
Raider. Like, she doesn't have a super big bust like the older Lara Croft. She's normal.
Right. It's
she's
normal.
she's not an alien from another planet where everyone has super huge, titties and booty out of this world. But
Booty
continue.
butt shit. Anyway, so regardless, a lot of people didn't like the cast of Kingsglaive too tough because of how linear they were. They didn't really do that much. Like Nyx and Libertus was probably in the limelight more than any of them. Like, and Crow was kind of just, she had her moments, but it was just like, it didn't even matter because she, spoiler alert, ended up taking the huge L. And yeah, my issue with the characters is Nyx. He was a typical hero. He was cool. He had the emotion, but he didn't show too much emotion till the last 30 minutes of the movie. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, it felt like his voice actor, like it was mostly just the voice acting part of it. At the beginning, the voice actor was just kind of like, and then when you got to the end of the movie, I was just like, man, you,
right.
hello?
Like
Who
he
are
evolved.
you?
He see the way they did Nyx, I think he had some of the best character development. If not, I can say in the whole entire film. Because like he comes off as this guy that's like, oh, I'm a guy that could just teleport. Woohoo, I can teleport. Yay, I'm Minato from Naruto. Yay. And he comes to this really heartwarmed, I only care about everybody else but not my life type of person. He opens up and he talks about his little sister. That one little segment actually added way more to why he was that way during the beginning of the movie. So this movie with the cast of characters had some very great surprises. So
Yeah.
that's all I'm gonna say. They were well done enough. They're really exceptional and in some cases really outstanding.
All right,
So
yeah. I don't want to make this video too long, so I think we're
yeah.
gonna have to go on to the next part. We're just gonna say, as far as story goes, so we don't give too many spoilers away. The story itself was kind of cliche. It was basically what we just explained. Like, hero comes out of nowhere, saves the day in the story, and he sacrifices himself to, basically make sure everyone lives. But the way they did it, the way it was done, you wouldn't have really thought about it like that. I didn't really think
Right.
about it. Like, I sat down and really thought about the story after after me and Yaya got done watching it, and I was just like, the story is kind of cliche, like, as far as like the initial plot, but everything in between adds up to that. On top of that, the characters were so, like, the way they wrote the characters, it just didn't feel that way. It just didn't feel super cliche.
Yeah.
They added a lot of story details from about like the way you know, Tenebrae and, you know, the relations
Oh yeah,
specifically with what is it called, the Lucius or whatever, you know. So sorry,
yeah.
my brain is like on doo-doo butt
It's
cheeks today.
okay.
My
Don't
head
worry
hurt.
about it.
But
It's okay.
what is it, the story, in all honesty, it was great. It was just like, when you look at it, it's cliche, but at the end of the day, it wasn't bad. It was really good. It was good, but it was cliche, I can say that.
Like, um, so at first when I first saw Kingsglaive, it took me a minute to realize what the Kingsglaive was until like I knew it was just a group, like it was a group under King Regis, and you know they help fight for him. They're pretty much the Assassin's Creed or like the Secret Service of Final Fantasy 15.
I
Like,
would there's actually something relative to this. Oh, if any of you, I know Avatar don't, but if any of you, you know, Metal Gear fans out there, you know,
okay,
love Metal Gear, you know, they're kind of relative to in Metal Gear Solid 4. They had these characters, you know, they all represented like a different animal. I forgot what the special group name was, but they all came from like really messed up backgrounds, and they put them, they came from really messed up backgrounds, and this essentially, like, they took these guys and they put them in the military for the use of basically destroying everybody. But it's like, you got a chance to, you know, not redeem yourself, but better yourself, I guess, you know, per se, or
hmm,
better your life. Let me say that, to better your life. So they basically gave these guys a chance to better their life. That's the way the Kingsglaive kind of works in my
yeah.
eyes.
It's like you're poor, but do you want to get this better life though? But you got to work for me, and you get magic. So it's like you win, lose. It's equal. It's fair. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
like,
So
everybody looks down upon them in the military,
right,
but like at the end of the day, they the ones fading everybody.
yeah. One last thing I want to say to make this not too short, too long, or whatever. I want to say that Kingsglaive is a phenomenal Final Fantasy movie. It does justice, and I feel like that's what Final Fantasy needs to gather more fans, so people won't be confused with the stories. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like their take on straightforward, linear, like stories is better than trying to make this complex 3-part series. And yeah,
Final Fantasy
um,
13.
all right. So I'm just saying, I like the 13 series, but the story needs some milk. All right, so that's all I'm gonna say. Go watch Kingsglaive. It is out on DVD and Blu-ray, iTunes, free product placement, and I'm out.
Yeah, before we end it off, I want to just talk about the animation for a bit. It's phenomenal. It
Oh,
looks like
oh
real
snap! I
life.
thought we
It looks like real life. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. There's
and
nothing
and
more to say.
and one thing that I would have not expected from Final Fantasy is the action. Like, so much of it. It was like, I feel like the last 15 minutes was like an anime episode, but like just straight out fighting. It was strictly that. Like, they had like one or two brief moments of talking. It was more action than actually story, you know. And the way they balanced it was like, okay, let's perfect. Like, I sound like a broken record, but let's perfect the straightforward, simplistic story, and let's focus on getting the cool stuff right.
That,
Bam.
that's basically it. All I gotta say, like, yeah, I recommend you watch the movie. Even if you're not a Final Fantasy fan, this might get you into the series, but you should watch the movie. It's a great movie. It's extremely well animated. Oh my god, we forgot that we were watching a movie at one point, bro. Like I said, we forgot we were watching like an animated movie. We thought this was like, for a minute, I was just like, holy crap, this is animated. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, this has been your man Shattuck sticking Avatar Yaya on the mic. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. Check out both of our channels. You know, we'll have links respectively on each channel in the description. And until next time, I'm out of here. Peace. Kiss, kiss.